everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Ball with me, Collie. What are you laughing? You always laugh every time we go live. What's that all about?
It's still deafening.
It really is definite. I've got the wrong background on as well, so I'm going to change that before I go any further. This week, I am joined by Conor. Conor,
How's things? How are you?
And I am joined by Paddy. Paddy,
hey, I was actually laughing because this screen here comes up at the end of the intro, but the ball is tiny on it, and my ball is massive. And I was like, oh,
Paddy has massive balls. You heard it here first.
That's it on.
Lads, we're kind of half watching the Liverpool game at the moment. It's half time. It's 1-1.
Like literally,
we had to start
half of it.
Yeah, we are literally watching
every eight frame.
So if we had went live at the same time, lads, we would have got another early goal. It was an early enough goal there. Every time we do one, it goes fucking a goal within 2 or 3 minutes. But we said we'd stick to the normal, and this is probably the last normal pod of the season. We're gonna maybe do a 15-20 minute one next week, just to kind of have a bit of a season review, and then hopefully we'll have kind of more information on what we plan on doing for the next kind of month or two. We will probably be taking a break
because we don't.
Yeah, because we haven't got that. We have no idea. We haven't even discussed it. But hopefully we can maybe discuss it and see what the crack is. So, lads, we're going to be looking at the Premier League games, the last game week of the season. Still a bit to play for, and we've a couple of kind of
not for me.
Yeah. Not even pride can be salvaged for Paddy at this stage.
You're still playing for what? 6th spot? Europa League. Yeah,
Exactly.
there's still things up.
Still got something. We have 3 games from this week that are still remaining, lads. So we'll have a quick look at them ones as well, because there is some important ones there. But lads, we're going to jump straight in and we're going to look at this weekend's Premier League fixtures. Lovely. Right, lads.
Do you have a bit of food?
Yeah, a bit of food. Thought I could get it in a bit quicker than that. So, lads, the first match we're going to be looking at is on Thursday, and it is Everton versus Crystal Palace. Oh my God, Everton are just bugging the shit out of me for some reason. Paddy, how do you see this one going for Everton?
Which is they threw away 2 leads in the last game. So I don't know. I can't see them winning both of their last 2 games, but I can't see them going down either, because I just think Leeds and Burnley are probably just that little bit worse than Everton are. Crystal Palace, not much to play for, so I can't see them doing much. I'm going to go for a draw on this one. I'm going to go for a nice 1-1 draw and Richarlison to score first.
All right, Paddy or Conor, what's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Everton fucking shooting themselves in the foot. I didn't even realise it. I think I put it into the group after we game that Solomon Rondon came on and was sent off 3 minutes later. That just
harsh red card. I thought it was a harsh red card.
it was a striker's tackle that was the same thing. He didn't spread his legs and then dive in. But
he fucking starfished into it.
He starfished into him. But that just summed up the day really from an Everton point of view. Yeah, kind of agree. Palace don't have much to play for, but I just think Everton have gone too gung ho. I think in games, needing to win, and just left themselves so exposed. I'm going to say draw as well. I'm going to say 2-2 though, and I'm going to say Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying there, but again, it comes down to that thing. I know they kind of blew their lead there against Brentford, but it is that thing where hopefully they'll kind of learn from it. You like to think anyway, but you never really know everything because they've been so fucking hit and miss this season. I'm gonna go with them to get a result. I'm gonna go with them to get a win. But I don't think it'll be a comfortable win. I think it's probably going to be a tight enough game. I'm gonna go with a 2-1 win for Everton, and I'm going to say Richarlison to score. I can't be wrong now because he's a big stupid fucker. But anyway, right, we're going to move on to the next one, lads. The next one is Villa and Burnley. Again, lads, we've been talking about Burnley a lot lately as well because potentially going down. Conor, how do you see this one going for Villa and Burnley?
I suppose Burnley need to get something out of it. Otherwise, they're the ones who are in the drop zone on the last day of the season. And obviously, it'll be out of their hands. So if they want to put Leeds onto the back foot, they need to do something. Ideally, I would love to see Everton and Burnley both get beaten and it comes down to the last day and there's a 3-team shootout. That would be fucking
great,
phenomenal.
Yeah.
And obviously, I think I want Leeds to stay up. I'd rather see one of the other two go down instead of Leeds.
It's got to be Burnley, considering they sacked Sean Dyche. It's got to be.
It's got to be Burnley, but Burnley were dead and buried when they sacked them, and now
It's true.
they're not the favourites to go down, I suppose. And they still need to get something out of this game. I thought Villa were impressive last week against Liverpool defensively, but then I don't know if they can shape up the same way against Burnley, otherwise nothing will happen. I'm going to back Villa to beat them.
Ooh.
And I'm going to say it's going to be an awful game in regards to no chances, very few goals. I'm going to say 1-0 Villa, and I'm going to go Ollie Watkins.
Nice one. Paddy, what do you think? Do you think along the same lines?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Burnley have a slight bit of an advantage, obviously, because they've got 2 games left. They can lose this tomorrow, and then looking at the last day of the season, then they're at home to Newcastle, but Leeds are away to Brentford. So I think there's more chance of Burnley getting a point or 3 out of that game than Leeds against Brentford. I think Leeds will lose.
I was going to say there's no chance of them getting 2.
I don't think that's possible.
And then Everton have Arsenal away, so that's a tough game for them. Like, looking back at actually the Everton game, they need to get points tomorrow because I think Arsenal will probably beat them on the last day of the season, so they'll probably be looking at tomorrow as their survival game. So I'll actually go for a win now for Everton. I'm going to go 2-1 win and Richarlison. But for the Villa Burnley, I'm going to go for a draw. Because again, I think they'll be looking to get the points on Sunday against Newcastle. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw and a 0-0 draw, actually, because I can't think of a player to score.
When you look at actually the league table, should I pull the league table up, lads, or will we just leave it off for now?
Oh, yeah, if you want, sure, yeah.
I'll pull it up there because when you look at kind of the 3 teams, the goal difference could be a massive fucking thing here because Burnley have a much better goal difference than Leeds. So a point for Burnley in this game is enough to take them out of relegation and drop Leeds into it. So that would, like, the draw isn't the worst result in the world for Burnley this week. I know ideally 3 points, but a draw takes them out of it. Again, like you were saying, Paddy, you think Burnley are probably more likely to get 3 points possibly on the last game of the season.
Or even a point. I don't see Leeds getting any points in the last game of the season. And Everton and Burnley, they just have to get a draw. I think maybe 1 win over the next 2 games, and they're stable. You can see Leeds going down.
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
I do think that Burnley and Villa are going to draw on this one. I don't think they're going to lose. I think they're going to draw. And I'm going to go 1-1. I don't see there being a massive amount of goals in this, and I'd say it'd probably be tight enough. And I do see probably Burnley going 1-0 up, thinking they're going to fucking win, and then Villa will equalise. And I'm going to say Coutinho to score. Yeah, fancy Coutinho to score. I'm going to take off this. New contract. Well, a permanent signing for, was it 17 million they completed that for?
Yeah.
7 right there, yeah.
Some shocking business by Barcelona.
It's not
some great business by Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool. Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah, 125.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like,
it's crazy.
So yeah, I think Coutinho is going to score. 78 million, a permanent signing for Villa. I think that's a fucking bargain for them because he is a top quality player. If he can get extremely fit and get match fit, I think he'd be quality for them next year. Problem is, how do they strengthen the rest of the team, and who do they bring in, and what's their budget? So be interesting to watch Villa for kind of next season.
Rumors of Luis Suarez.
Oh, because he did leave Atletico.
Mm-hmm.
He's out of contract. He wouldn't.
And he says he doesn't want to go to the MLS because he still feels he can compete in the top leagues.
Go back and play with Steven Gerrard and go play with Coutinho.
Be interesting. Lads, on to the next one is Chelsea and Leicester. How do we see this one going? Look, lads, the FA Cup obviously is something that we're not going to talk about on this podcast because. But no, honestly, but how do you see this one going? Paddy, come to you first. You moaned about it last week.
Just to bring up the FA Cup final though. Fucking hell! Like what is going on? Like how can two teams that are so good not score one goal in
Liverpool have won 2 trophies without scoring a single goal.
Yeah.
And yet they're claiming to be the best team that's ever existed, and they haven't scored a goal against Chelsea. They've won 2 games against them in the cup final.
Every Liverpool fan is saying that they're the greatest team ever.
You're not, because you're live on a podcast and you know that you'll get torn apart.
You're not the best team ever.
That's why you're
not. Liverpool team 3 years ago was better than this team now.
So if they win the quad, they wouldn't be considered the best team ever.
I don't think winning the quadruple considers you the best team ever. Like that treble winning team against United didn't make them the best team ever.
Just stop.
Trophies talk.
Oh my god! If United won,
I think consistency will make that. Paddy's just looking for 4th.
So, Paddy, how do you see this one going with Chelsea and Leicester? 2 teams that are really not playing for anything. Arsenal kind of handed fucking Chelsea a guaranteed Champions League spot.
Yeah, great result for Leicester in their last game though, 5-1 against Watford. Again though, are they playing for anything? Thanks, Chelsea, are they safe now? Are they?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
they're safe because Arsenal are fucking bottlers.
Arsenal bottled it,
but they still probably want to finish in 3rd, so they don't have to play that qualification game. Early in the season. So yeah, I'm gonna go for Chelsea winning anyway. I just think they're better than Leicester. And Lukaku to score. I'm gonna go for probably 2-0 to Chelsea.
Okay, Conor, how do you see it going? And do you think there will be a hangover from the FA Cup, or do you think it'll want to be like something they just get out of the system straight away? Bit of bounce back ability here, maybe.
Yeah, they're not going to want to linger on that. I know there's nothing to play for in the game, but they're not going to want to finish the season on a sour note. They're going to go obviously to try to win the game. They know they're going to have, well, unless for the international players, they're going to have a couple of months off anyway. So 10, that's on both sides. Yeah, Chelsea are just a better side than Leicester. So I'm gonna back a Chelsea win at home. I'm gonna say 2-0 Chelsea, and I'm going to go with Timo Werner.
Okay. Yeah, looking at it, I suppose really good win for Leicester against Watford 5-1. Paddy has removed himself. 5-1 massive win.
He heard you say Chelsea, and then you said, "No, fuck this."
Yeah, fuck this. I'm out here. I got the toilet break. It's like when the women wrestlers used to come on when Raw was on. Everybody used to just go to the toilet. Didn't want to watch the women wrestlers. So yeah, look, great win for Leicester. Vardy getting back on the score sheet, which he hadn't done that much really this season. He hasn't been as fucking prolific as he was other seasons. I think they may score a goal or 2 against us. I feel like, I know Rudiger, it's his last game at home for Chelsea. But he's been wild lately and he's been really underperforming.
He's on daft.ie at the same time as playing, looking for a new gaff. That's what.
Yeah, exactly. His mind is elsewhere. He has no interest. So good riddance to him, and we will miss him though.
He's refreshing Mbappe's Twitter to see if he's going to sign. Like, come on,
exactly. Yeah. So I think now. Look, I still do think that Chelsea are going to win here, but I think there's going to be a lot of goals in this game because 2 teams don't give a fuck. 3-2. I'm going to say to Chelsea, and I'm going to go with Mason Mount to score just to make up for the penalty miss. Sorry, I was just saying to make up for the penalty miss.
Have you heard much about the ongoings of the sale of the club at the moment? Because the last I heard, there was a problem with Roman Abramovich saying
about the loan.
Yeah, like he hasn't fully given assurances of where the money's going to go or something like that.
No, they were apparent lies. And your man Todd Bowley it's a formality for him to take over, so it just has to go through the league and stuff like that. So apparently it is all pretty much wrapped up.
Pretty sketchy to me.
And Abramovich did come out and says that all the proceeds will still be going to victims of war in Ukraine. So all I can go off is Abramovich's word, which for me has been tip top since the day he joined Chelsea, and we will be.
Yeah, he probably has been.
We'll be having no more, as you're going to say.
He probably has been one of the best owners around. He's been really supportive of the club, pumped a lot of money in. What sort of a club do you think Chelsea will be now with the new owners? Because
they are like. Do you know what? I'm a little bit excited because we're going to go in a probably not a massively new direction, but they have promised 1.5 billion to be invested in the club, whether it be the stadium, the facilities. They're going to do a lot of local work around Cobham and stuff like that. Chelsea do that anyway, which doesn't get seen. And look, they're not the only Premier League club that does it, but 1.5 billion apparently of Todd Bowley or fucking whatever his name is, his money has been promised to all that. So I would imagine that a lot of that is going to go on a transfer budget as well. But I would be really excited to see. I'd be really excited to see developments going on in the stadium. Like Chelsea's capacity is something like 45,000 or 46,000. It's sold out every single game, and you're booking way in advance to try to get a ticket. So I know it's probably not going to go up to, but I'd love to see it going up to about 60 or 70,000. It's not going to go anywhere near 70,000, but like maybe an extra 5,000 or 6,000 is all it's probably going to get, depending on what kind of.
But could you see Chelsea falling back into the club they were before Abramovich?
No, definitely not.
They weren't a bad club, but they were
they weren't a club that had a vision of winning. They weren't a winning club. That's what they weren't. They were always a mid-table club. They were hit and miss whether they were going to get Champions League. They were what probably Arsenal and Spurs are now. Sorry, Rob. But that's what they probably were. That's what they were back in the day, where they were. To be honest with you, they were probably even a little bit lower. They were probably 6th or 7th, like around that position. So Champions League for them would have been a really good season, like. But I don't think we're going to fall that far behind. If anything, I would be excited to see. what this new owner is going to bring to the table. I know he's American, but
you sound like a United supporter now with fucking.
I know, yeah.
Look at you.
I'm just really open to an American franchise coming to London to Manchester Blue. Oh no, it's fucking London Blue, whatever it is. But no, Paddy, I think it's gonna be good for the club. Look, everybody's afraid of change. Nobody really wants change, but sometimes the grass is greener, and you just don't realize it until you chop it and you see the other side of it. So there you go. Right, lads, we're going to move on to the next game if that's okay. I'm clipping that. Lads, the next game is Arsenal versus Everton. So I think this is the first game of next week, which is on Saturday, I believe. They're all on Saturday. Sunday. Sunday. Do you know what? I should have booked Monday off work and went to the fucking pub for it. Anyway, lads, how do we see this going? Connor, come to you first on this.
I can still book it off.
Yeah, I can't. I could call it sick.
Yeah.
Sorry if you're watching, boss.
Yeah, it's a shootout. Depends obviously what happens in Everton's game on Thursday, I think. Because a win will keep them up basically. So I think that could change the direction of the game, but if we take it as in Everton are still involved in a dogfight, it's going to be it's a direct shootout between someone who wants fourth and someone who wants to stay up. I can see them pretty much nullifying each other. In that case, because they obviously both are still playing for something, which obviously makes it a really good game. I would say 1-1 on it. I'd probably back Saka to score.
Looking at it before I go on to you, Paddy. So obviously, you're saying there's a shootout between two teams who are really kind of fighting for something. Do you see Arsenal now kind of throwing in the towel on that? And I know they have to obviously get a result for it to be a possibility for them to win, but they're 2 points behind Spurs. They're playing against Everton, a team that are really, really hungry to stay up. Lampard will have them buzzing for the game, and I just think Arsenal are going to take the foot off the gas thinking that Spurs are probably more than likely going to get the win because they're playing against Norwich, who are relegated. And do you not think that's a possibility?
I don't think so. I think they have to do what they have to do, basically. And it's not like they're saving players for next week, or they're not saving players for a semi-final or something that's coming up. Like, they're going to go out, they're going to give it everything. Granit Xhaka came out last night and said the players are lacking balls. So, obviously, he's one of them as well. He probably is. He doesn't exactly fucking turn up in a leadership role in midfield.
I think it's like 3 for 15 in Sports Direct. That's called the joke. I'm gonna just edit out the awkward silence after I said that and just have everything.
Arsenal at home, they're not going to want to fucking leave the end of the season. At least they're winning the game. Whether Spurs go on and win or whatever it is, at least if they put a performance in, they'll get some maybe pride out with the supporters. So yeah, I just don't know. I think it does come down to Everton's game midweek. If Everton win, the pressure's off them, and I reckon Arsenal roll them over.
Yeah, it is actually a good show, isn't it? That it will come down to the Thursday game. If Everton get a win there, they'll probably take the foot off the gas because they'll be safe.
Yeah, so they'll obviously be hoping for a miracle about Norwich beating Spurs, but we talk about it again. There's nothing better when you're relegated than wanting to fucking rip something off somebody else.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
So what score did you give me? 1-1?
I said 1-1. Yeah, 1-1.
Okay. And score Saka. Okay. Paddy, what's your thoughts on it? Do you reckon there's anything here that we could be missing?
I think I said earlier on, I think Everton will lose this game. But I do think they'll try and get a few points against Palace. The only thing I would say about Arsenal is I think they'll realise and know that Spurs are going to win against Norwich. I cannot see Spurs dropping any points against Norwich. Kane and Son are on fire, so that will be on Arsenal's mind as well. I think there's always a chance, so they will go out to win it, and they will win the game. But I think they realise that it's a lost cause now. They lost it over the last 2 games as opposed to the last day of the season. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Arsenal and Saka to score first.
Yeah, I do think that this one, again, Conor, you kind of touched on it, massively depends on what happens on Thursday. If Everton could beat Palace, I think they take the foot off the gas, they go into holiday mode straight away. They've done what they needed to do, and then Arsenal absolutely destroyed them 4-0. If they don't get the win, if they only get a draw, I think it becomes a lot more tougher game, and I feel like it would be a draw. I feel like it would be like a 2-2 draw if Everton don't beat Crystal Palace. So I'm giving 2 results, lads. I'm saying if Everton win against Palace, this is the most complicated fucking score prediction I've ever given. If Everton win against Palace, I'm going 4-0 to Arsenal, and I'm going to say Smith Rowe to score. If Everton draw with Palace, I'm going to say 2-2 with Arsenal and Everton, and I'm going to say Smith Rowe to score as well. So it depends on what happens against Palace.
What happens if it's sunny out?
If it's sunny out, then everybody gets the bus down to Stoke because everybody can play in Stoke and sun. No windy night. Right, lads, we'll move on to the next one. I go up with some absolute shit.
That was funnier than your actual joke.
Lads, Brentford and Leeds. Look, we touched on it a little bit again. Leeds fighting for their lives. Gonna be a dogfight, I think, this one. Conor, what do you reckon on this one?
You went to me first the last time. Do you want to go to Paddy just in case he cries?
Paddy, what do you think on this one?
I was about to have a little whinge there. I
couldn't remember who I went to first, so I took a gamble and I went with Conor.
You could see him writing his notice.
I was looking up there. Brentford, you'd think, they might take their foot off the gas. They're on the holidays now, but no, they beat Everton in the last game, where Everton really should have been right up for that to win it. So I think they'll beat Leeds as well. I'm going to go for a slim win, 1-0 to Brentford, and Wissa to score.
4 wins in their last 6. Not a bad run of form for a team that's potentially in holiday mode, I suppose we call it. Conor, do you think Leeds will struggle against Brentford, or do you think this will be the one where they kind of up the ante?
I'm backing the miracle. I'm backing Leeds to get out of the shit the last day of the season. It's a very Leeds thing to do.
Yeah.
They've been
Shit
brutal
house.
all season. They have been absolute shithouses. Obviously, they're going to be missing Luke Ayling through injury. Stuart Dallas through injury. Missing Luke Ayling through suspension. Dan James through suspension.
Was that for? Did he get sent off?
Luke Ayling got sent off against Arsenal and got 3 games. Dan James Dan James it was 2 yellow cards, so he gets 1 game, so he's going to miss this one.
Yeah.
So the backs are up against the wall. They're out of the game, which means I think they're going to get something out of it. I don't know whether they'll get 3 points. Again, I think this is going to be a draw. I think Burnley are going to be the ones who suffer, and they're not going to pick up points in those last 2 games. So I'm going to back a 2-2 with a last-minute winner, a last-minute equaliser, which is basically like a winner for them, for Calvin Phillips.
So basically, what you're saying is Leeds are going to stay up.
I would love it if they stay. I would love it if they stay.
I would fucking love it if they stay.
Yeah, but I just don't fancy Burnley getting points out of those last 2 games, and Leeds. If that's the case, Leeds are safe as is, and even if Burnley pick up only 1 point, another point for Leeds will keep them up, or 1 point for Leeds will keep them up. So, yeah.
Wasn't Leeds
result
against Brighton? Wasn't that not a last-minute equaliser?
I believe it was actually, yeah.
I think you missed that one. I think you're a week late on that one.
They can do it again.
Oh, it's very unlikely, isn't it?
It's very unlikely anyway, but
it's true. Yeah, lads, I don't know. I kind of am on the verge of thinking that Leeds are gonna get out of it. I think they're too good of a club to have in the Championship. I think they bring a bit to the Premier League, especially their fans. Like, we're fucking just absolute killings. There's always the potential to have a great TikTok weekend with Leeds fans in the Premier League, because they could potentially be battering someone, and we get to see it on TikTok. It's not as kind of hyped up in the Championship. So I'd love to see Leeds stay up, and I'd love to see Burnley go down, just for the pure fact that they sacked Sean Dyche. If it was Sean Dyche that had done the miracle and turned them around, I probably would have said, right, see you later, Leeds. But I just think, because they sacked Sean Dyche, I'm a big fan of his, and I hope that they go down. So I'm going to go with 2-1 to Leeds, lads. And I'm going to say Leeds are going to go 2-0 up, and then Brentford are going to score in around the 70th or 80th minute and put them under pressure, and they're going to defend like beavers, as Merson would say. So I'm going to go with Leeds to win 2-1. And I'm going to go with Rafinha to score. Lads, moving on to the next one. Brighton versus West Ham. Conor, I'll come to you first, because I went to Paddy first last time. How do you see this one going? Is this pretty much a nothing game?
Well, it depends if West Ham want to get into the Europa League again.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
is that
conference now, aren't they?
They're in the conference spot at the moment. United are in the Europa League spot that they'd probably be looking for. So, I know obviously for United, they probably want out of both of them. But for a club like West Ham, you could see how much losing that semi-final against Frankfurt meant to them.
Well, hold on, right? So, Paddy, you can chime in on this one as well if you want. I know we're jumping off who we're talking about here, but just saying there that United wouldn't want either of them. Do you not think that this Europa League, for what United have coming up their street over the next 2 or 3 years, is the best way for United to get back into the Champions League? Do you not think that's the best route?
Not this season.
But do you not think it gives them a stepping stone? Because if they can win that, at least you have that year of building.
That's a big if, though. I'd rather them not have the hassle of Thursday games for the 4 season.
Thursday football's hilarious, though.
Yeah, it's comical. But do you not think that? Like, I genuinely think that that's the best way. Look, if you can get up into the Champions League and then build while you're there, I mean, why not? Like, why not just take the gamble on that and go on to win that? Like, that Europa League is winnable for a team like Manchester United. Look, we know you're in the shit and all, but there's still enough there to kind of win that type of league. And
No, I
Right, Ten
know
Hag
that's
comes
that's
in.
the level we've been at. So Mourinho won it. Solskjaer got to the final. So I'm not dismissing it, and it was great. You know what I mean when they were in the finals and all. But I think we've been so bad this season, and such a big rebuild needs to be done. I'd prefer not to have the hassle of it. But yeah, well, I'll enjoy watching the games next season. But I would just
I
prefer
just
not.
think, I just think because you're so far off getting fourth, I think next year, that's your best alternative, and probably for the next 3 years, I would rather be in it. And look, we look at Chelsea the year they won it. They probably weren't. They weren't anywhere near favourites to win it, but they rode their luck big time and got to a final. And like I said, a cup is a cup. You can get to the final without being great and win it. So, I mean, I would be pushing for. I know as a United fan, that's not what you want to hear. You don't want to hear Europa League is
No,
fucking
it's
the
not the
standard.
like the season after next season, this season coming. Yeah, absolutely. Because I still don't think we'll be Champions League ready at that stage. But I just his initial season, I think he could do without the headache. For preparation purposes for each game, to get the players drilled into how he wants them to play for each opposition that they're going. Because it's one thing playing in the Dutch league, but coming to the Premier League, like every team in the Premier League is probably better than most Dutch teams that he's come up against.
Does the gelling not really happen on the training ground, and then you build with it on the matches? So the more matches, so your preparation is done on the training ground, and then your building becomes by playing matches. And
yeah, but if you have a match on the Saturday or the Sunday, and you have a game on the Thursday night, you've no time to prepare really for the weekend game because you've been preparing for the midweek Champions or Europa League game.
But that I'd say that more comes down to an individual opponent you would be more looking at, where say I'm playing Arsenal on fucking Thursday and playing City on Sunday. Fair enough, you might not have enough time to look at footage from City, although everybody knows what it is. But it as a preparation, as a philosophy, and as a tactic, that should be still there. You know what I mean? So. I think you get more kind of building time on your philosophy and your tactics, but yeah, maybe the individual team that you're playing against, that's where you kind of lose a little bit of preparation work.
Yeah, I think there'd be a lot. I'd be happy if you got into one of them, which we are going to do one of them because Wolves can't have enough points now to catch either of us. So it's going to be one of the competitions. But I'd be happy to see him playing the youths in it.
Yeah, fair enough. I suppose,
United versus Shamrock Rovers in the final.
Yeah. and of course Celtic.
Yeah.
Sorry, Conor. I think I kind of jumped in on you there.
Yeah, so I think West Ham want the Europa League. As I said, you could see how much it meant to the supporters getting beaten, how much it meant to the players getting beaten by Frankfurt, how many of them travelled to Sevilla in the previous leg. I mean, you don't travel to Frankfurt. It's obviously something that they probably want, and it's like their Champions League at the moment, really. And then Brighton, obviously, just Brighton happy to be in the top half of the league, really, and it looks like they're going to probably finish there anyway. And they'd just be obviously delighted with. I think we all had them relegated, so a lot of us had them relegated this season. Yes, the finish 9th, 10th, or 11th is obviously fucking phenomenal for them anyway. So I can see West Ham having a bit of grit about them, looking to get that spot or looking to at least make United get a result. So I'm going to back West Ham 2-0, and purely for how much of a handful he was against City at the weekend, I'm going to back Antonio.
Yeah. And we were talking about that, weren't we? That City might struggle against West Ham with Antonio just because of the injuries to the defenders. But Paddy, looking at Brighton, do you think, right? So obviously they've had a great season this year. They finished kind of 10th, or they may finish 9th. Holding on to the likes of Cucurella and Basuma, who has been linked with United. Do you think that's essential for them to do, or do you think they can even do it? Like someone comes knocking at their door for them type of players. Do you see them being able to hold on to them and kind of keeping the players excited about what's being built, or do you think that's them gone?
No, I don't think it's it depends on their scouting department really, because if you look at the likes of a club like Southampton, they're just a conveyor belt of players.
Yeah,
and world class. For years they've been doing it. They've just been selling, but they always seem to find more good ones. Now, if Brighton can do the same thing, which they have done with one or two players that they've lost, well then they'll be safe enough. But I think once they're surviving, they have a good manager there. Once they can hold on to him, I think he's been one of the massive reasons why they're staying up. I don't see them getting results this weekend. Even though they spanked United and played really, really well, 4-0. That was some result.
Crazy.
But I do think West Ham did a good performance against City the weekend. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 City win and Antonio to score.
But what about West Ham?
What did I say?
City.
Did we?
Here we go. Liverpool are about to score. Watch it. Paddy's got a real on us now. It's like
it's a senior moment. Sorry, it's a senior moment.
Lads, just an update on the game. It's the 66th minute and it's still 1-1. There's another game that's on tonight, lads, and it's the playoffs for fucking the championship. And Forest are currently winning 3-2 on aggregate against Sheffield United. I hope Forest win that.
Is that 1-0? Is that 1-0 in the game then? Is it? Was it 2-1?
It's 1-1 in the game, yeah. And if they go through here, they play Huddersfield in the final to see who goes.
Fuck Huddersfield.
Fuck Huddersfield, right in the arse. I hope Nottingham Forest go up. I'd like to see Forest back in the
either Sheffield United or Forest in the league. Yeah. So the winner of that fixture.
Right. Brighton and West Ham, lads. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for West Ham. I think it'll be tight. Like I said, Brighton don't really leak that many goals. And I'm going to say Bowen because he was quality against City or against United. Right, lads. Next one. Burnley and Newcastle. That can't be right, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is right because, why wouldn't it be? Paddy, what do you reckon on this one? We kind of touched on Burnley already. We won't spend ages on them. So you think this is the one where they'll really fancy kind of getting 3 points?
I do, and Liverpool just got a goal. It's 2-1.
Oh,
you're fucking...
you ruined it on me. Oh, daddy.
That's going in for a corner. I fucking unwild to be honest.
68 minute we're on here. What are you on?
I'm on the 66. It's just 67th minute. It's just going to now.
I'm not even watching.
Yeah, I'm on 66 and a half.
I'm not watching it because
I presume it's from the corner, Paddy, is it?
Yeah.
I'll get ready here. Hang on.
Is it Van Dijk? He's not playing, is he? No, he's not. I hope it's fucking
yes! Come on!
Who scored it?
Matip.
And Matip. Who assisted?
I think it was Tsimikas.
Oh, have Tsimikas me fancy football. I hope he did. I think I fucked it up though. I don't think I'm gonna be able to catch Nesta. Yeah, sorry. Paddy, was I talking to you here? Do you think this
sorry. Burnley and Newcastle, I do think they'll get a point at least. So I'm gonna go for 1-1 because they have been fairly poor. So 1-1, and I'm gonna go for Ashley Barnes, but I do think it's gonna be enough to keep them up.
Okay. Conor, what do you think?
Newcastle are unreal against Arsenal. The last home game, obviously, so I know what the home support is like in St. James's Park is like different level. And Deck got onto the pitch at the end of the game. I don't know if anyone saw it. They're fucking hugging all the players and all. Half of them hadn't a clue who the fuck they were. But yeah, no, I fancy Newcastle to finish on a high, beat them. I'm going to say 1-0 Newcastle. And he was phenomenal last night, and he's only back from injury. Callum Wilson, and I back Callum Wilson to score.
See, he lost a tooth.
Yeah, I saw that. That was mad. And what did he do 2 minutes later? He almost fucking lobbed Ramsdale with a fucking half volley from about 45 yards out. Outrageous player.
Yeah, lads. Like I've been impressed with Newcastle and what's kind of happened since the owners took over. Just touching on Newcastle for a sec, lads. How do we see their whole next kind of year going? Are they going to invest heavily in the summer, and who do you think they can kind of bring in? What's their wage budget going to be, or sorry, their transfer budget going to be? And like, I suppose what is the caliber of player they're going to be able to attract there? Anybody?
You're seeing in the January window what they're capable of. I think they wanted to make more signings in the summer before the league started, but it just didn't happen for them. I think they had a really good January, and I think they'll have a really good summer this year. And again, they'll be hitting towards the above mid-table to the Europa League, Conference League spots next season. I think that's what they'll be shooting for next season, and then maybe the season after, it'll be Champions League spot they'll be looking for with the signings and the money. Investment-wise, I think they'll have whatever they need because I think they have a bottomless pit of money. So you'll probably see the stadium being rebranded, a couple of new things so they can, cover up the money that's being spent on the players. But you could see them spending that, and they wanted really what 500 million. I don't know, so it's ridiculous.
Conor, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think they're going to aim at that. The easiest level to say it's at is like the Jesse Lingard level of players who just don't quite fit into one of those top 6 teams, but are still good enough to probably play in the rest of the league.
Yeah.
Good signing.
And I think they're the type of players that they're going to be trying to pick up, trying to target. Like looks at like just from the Liverpool side of things, like maybe like Divock Origi or something as a goal scorer, or to bring in. I'm sure there's a few players at different clubs who are just probably not happy where they are because they're not getting enough game time. And somewhere like Newcastle would seem like a great proposition for growth. And I can also see them pulling from the foreign leagues as well, of about higher caliber players, but maybe are still going under the radar of
playing for like Marseille or something like that.
Playing for Marseille, Lyon, Lille. We've seen them pick up. Think like the likes of, I know Jonathan David was on their radar, the Canadian fella who's playing up front for Lille. Players like that who are just again below the radar of the top 4, top 5 clubs, but that they can nick in, still pay 35, 40 million for, because obviously money is not an issue. But players who are happy just to get into the Premiership to establish their brand, really. I think that's where Newcastle's aim will be over the next 1 to 2 years.
Thoughts on that we just got in from Rob there. Strong rumours Mourinho's en route to Newcastle. I'd be surprised considering Eddie Howe, I think, has done a pretty good job there.
He's one of 4 managers nominated for Manager of the Year. So
yeah, I'd be surprised. I do think that Jose Mourinho is really enjoying his time over at Roma as well. Seen a lot of him lately. Seems like the special one is back. That kind of persona is back, and he's not a depressing old fucking fart that he was in the Premier League when he was with fucking United and Spurs. Like, so I'd be surprised.
I read a stat there that every full season in the last 18, 20 years that he's managed a full season at a club, he's reached a cup final, or he's won a cup or something like that. Every time he's finished a full season, like he's amazing manager. But I think he's like a bad ex that you've had. You know what I mean? Like when you're breaking up and he leaves, you're like, he's shit and all. Then the longer he's gone, you're like, oh, maybe he was all right.
The worst, actually.
And send text at 2 a.m. Hey.
Yeah. Hey, how's the managing going? But like maybe in 2 or 3 years' time, I think Mourinho could swoop in there and kind of start maybe taking them to the next level. Like, do you know what I mean? Like Eddie Howe will probably bring them to a certain standard, and then possibly it is probably a project that Mourinho would fancy, like something like that. An open checkbook and go and sign whoever the fuck you want and try turn something that's already a good thing, which I think Newcastle are, they're a good club, into something that could potentially be absolutely
in the league with Newcastle. You'd be a god, like.
Yeah, absolute hero.
I've done that in Football
Manager. Lads, who's giving me predictions? I don't know where we're at with this.
Yeah, I said 1-1.
Conor,
I said 1-0 Newcastle.
And I think I gave a prediction as well, didn't I? I think I said 2-1.
No.
Yeah, let's just go. Yeah, all right. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, right. Newcastle to win for me. Lads, we're on to the next one. Chelsea and Watford. Won't spend too much on it. There's not much happening here. I'll jump in with a score prediction, and I'm going to say a good home win for the last home game of the season. And I'm going to go with 3-0 to Chelsea. Conor? Sorry.
Goal scorer?
Goal scorer, I'm going to go with Rudiger scoring his last game.
3-1 Chelsea and the LeBron of soccer.
Ooh, Pulisic. Paddy, what do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say actually 3-0. I think it's going to be as well, and Werner to score because he didn't get on at the final, so he'd be hungry to get a goal.
Okay. I'm very surprised he didn't come on in the final, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I suppose I.
Bringing Ruben Loftus-Cheek on, then take them off, just fucking.
Yeah, it was a bit madness, wasn't
Anyway, Paddy, here we go. Crystal Palace versus Manchester United. How do you see this one going for you? Again, like we were saying a little bit a while ago, that Europa League, I suppose, is still one that you have to take one or the other. So I mean, you may as well try and go and get that one. So
I don't think those players will be going for anything.
Just a fucking holiday.
No, but I don't think that would be in the mind of even the club. I just think they want the season over now at this stage.
Paddy, 9 months ago, these are winning the league for you.
I know.
If anyone doesn't recall, Paddy put Manchester United to win the league this year. Just in case anyone was
United finished second last season and then had Varane and Ronaldo come in. So like it wasn't ridiculous.
Now that's why I was laughing that Paddy was like, "Oh yeah, Europa League probably this year, next year, the year after, and then getting the top four." And I was like, "They're winning the league a couple of months ago."
Believe me, I know. I'm as shocked as you. Fucking hell. Yeah, this game as well. I thought even against Burnley, I thought, because I can't remember the game before that, but we got a result and anyway, it was a decent enough performance. It was the last home game. Then the Burnley game happened and we were absolutely shocking. I think Crystal Palace aren't a very bad side, so I think they might get a draw of it. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I'm going to go for actually I'm going to give Rashford a goal. He hasn't scored donkeys. Oh my god,
that's ridiculous. Okay, interesting. And Conor, how did you see this one go?
Tight game. I can see Vieira wanting something for the last game of the season, just as much as United will. Kind of finish it.
Did you say Klopp for no reason there?
No, I said Vieira to finish out and look
for
a good result.
Long game or close game?
No.
Okay. No. That's how you said Klopp.
Okay. No. So Vieira looking for a result as much as United will be. Obviously, we've talked about Palace and how we, again, another team that a lot of us thought were probably going to go down and have been particularly good. Hard to break down, hard to score against. I'm going to back United to nick it, but still to be a tight game. I'm going to say 2-1 United, and I'm going to go with Ronaldo.
Okay, yeah, we're kind of along the same thought process there. I think United will probably nick it. I don't think there'll be a lot of goals going on. I think United will be a little bit timid and frightened in the first while, which is actually a strange thing to say because they're usually not. But this season has just been an absolute shit show for them. So I'm going to say 1-0 to United, and I'm going to go with Fernandes to score. Because I don't know, it could be anybody. Lads, on to the next one, Leicester and Southampton. Paddy, will come to you again. Like I said, nothing to play for really here. We'll just get a score prediction on you.
Yeah, Leicester to win 2-0. Vardy to score.
Okay, and Conor?
Southampton to win 2-1. Ward-Prowse.
All right. I'm going to go with a 2-1. No, I got 2-1 Leicester, and I'm going to say Vardy to score. Right, lads, on to the next one. Liverpool and Wolves. Conor, will the league be over by then?
I hope not, to be honest, but I wouldn't have been surprised after the starting 11 that was picked for this evening. I'm not going to lie. It kind of took me by surprise. I know obviously there is a Champions League final coming up, but that's still a week and a half away. So
is that Klopp thrown in the towel?
Yeah, it is a little bit. Or it's a case of that he trusts that the players that he has around him are going to beat Southampton, which isn't the case because he's made loads of changes when they went 1-0.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. When they went to 1-1. I think it's an acceptance that it is out of their control more than anything. But they can only do what they can, and it still might not be enough. And then obviously I think the focus is just winning the games that they have in front of them. Again, I think that starting 11 should be a Southampton best 11 regardless. And I think that starting 11 should be the best Wolves team the weekend. But obviously he has a couple of injuries in the squad at the moment, obviously with Salah and Fabinho, and it looks like he's afraid to get any more to the...
Do we know how long they're out for?
Fabinho is back for this weekend, apparently, so I wouldn't be surprised if he came on for 15-20 minutes in the Wolves game. And I haven't got an update on Salah, but I believe Klopp spoke this morning or yesterday about this game, and it's precautionary, and he's not expected to play at the weekend, but he is fit for the following week. Now, whether that's just to get into Ancelotti's mind and try to change Ancelotti's plans, that Salah's going to be playing, we might have to double up on the left. I don't know. And then it ends up he actually is still injured. But again, if he is back fit, you'd expect him to maybe cameo for 10 minutes in this game. I was not going to back Liverpool to win. They're going to do what they need to do, I think. They're grinding out results at the moment. None of them have been pretty. Villa wasn't pretty last week. The Southampton game at the moment isn't pretty, and I still think they're going to grind out another one. I'm going to say 2-1, and I'm going to back. He scored again tonight, so I'm going to back my boy Taki Minamino.
Nice. Good player. Paddy, what do you think?
Conor, I just wanted to just ask you real quick, because it's unlikely you might be on next week. So how do you see the Champions League final going? Do you think that final with Chelsea, these last two games, takes a lot out of players? And Real Madrid have won the league a couple of weeks ago. So will that make a difference in the final, do you think? How do you see it going?
I don't think it will. And again, like, he's made 8 changes tonight. He'll probably make another 8 changes at the weekend. So I don't think there's 2-week gap in between when these players have played one game to the next. If anything, I think going the distance in both finals will probably stand to them a little bit more. Now, whether they have the quality at the back, especially in the full-back positions, to keep out Vinicius Jr. and stuff. I don't know. But I saw that coming in. That's why I'm throwing it because I'm not reading that laughing.
Your mind fucked him.
I'm just happy that Rob is okay and he hasn't harmed himself in any way. And we know he's still with us.
Just for anyone that is listening and doesn't know what we're talking about there, we have a comment in from Robert Walker, who is an Arsenal fan. Can we ask Conor what Liverpool or what? Can we ask Conor what Liverpool need to win a genuine Premiership next season? Just so everybody knows, which is true because they haven't done it. No.
Not a hell of a lot, to be honest.
BT,
like the only things that let them down this season was dropping silly points at the start of the season. Really, they're top of the form charts.
Must be so frustrating though, as a Liverpool supporter, being up against the City side.
Yeah,
but the points tally and values are getting like
it's gone 90 points, like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, if you had said going into the last 2 games of the season, Liverpool could finish on 92 points, I'd have been like, yeah, all right, I'll take that, regardless of where everyone else finishes.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think Liverpool don't seem to step above themselves. I don't think if that City team was there, I think their performances would drop as well. I think they need to have that kind of challenge. I don't think they could do what United did for so many years of winning titles by like 20 points, basically. I know, like, even when they had won it with 4 games left 2 seasons ago, whatever it was, they did their best to try throw it away for a couple of games before actually sealing the deal. So I don't think they would.
I think they do. I think they do that. If that City team isn't there, I think they do win leagues by that much. Like, them front 3 is frightening like that. Like, Diaz, it used to be Firmino, but now it's Diaz, Salah and Mane. Like, that is a frightening front 3 for any team to come up against. If you have a league that doesn't have that Man City team in, I think you just win that 9 times out of 10 over the next.
Oh no, I think they win the league, but I don't think they get it as comfortably as people would think if City wasn't there. I don't think it's going to be like the 20-point gap that there is between, or 15-point gap there is between City, Liverpool, and then Chelsea.
19 at the moment.
19.
Yeah.
I respectfully disagree.
But we always talk about Liverpool not having squad depth. They've invested in squad depth. They have a front 6 or 7 now that they can rotate your world-class players. They didn't have before. It was just 3. We always said what would happen when the African Cup of Nations pops up and Liverpool lose 2 of the front 3.
Yeah,
they didn't lose a game. They didn't lose a game while they were away. So stuff like that is improving. I reckon they will just need to keep that consistency against the bottom clubs. I think complacency sets in a little bit. Like dropping points against Palace this season, dropping points against Watford, getting beaten by West Ham, but not a good West Ham win either. It was 3 scrappy set piece goals that they gave away. It was that's what lost in the league. It didn't lose the league against Spurs with a draw. I think that's a great result, especially the way Spurs are playing. I think it was those games that kind of cost them actually running away with this one. But so if City lose the league, they could say the same thing about dropping points against.
Yeah, everyone could say that.
West Ham. Everyone can say it. Teams drop points, and that's the way it is.
Yeah. Score prediction on the Champions League though. Did you give us one?
Champions League, I will say Liverpool 2-1 after extra time.
Ooh. Paddy, what score prediction are you going to give on it? How do you think it's going to go?
Well, just on a point Conor made there about Liverpool not being able to run away, where I see Liverpool now have been very like the United team under Ferguson in terms of, I was looking at Diaz when he signed and how well he has done since he came in. But then I think back to when United were winning all those leagues and some of the teams Ferguson used to put out. But that winning mentality was just running right through the whole squad that you could nearly put anybody out and they'd win. And this is what happened with this Liverpool squad. Tonight you can see the starting 11 that they put out. And you don't see a massive difference in the way they're playing. Like the performances are still up there, thereabouts. So I do think they're a special team, which hurts me to say. For the Champions League final, I do think Real Madrid might do them in again, because even Salah coming out now and saying, we've a point to prove, we've got revenge and all this shit. I don't know whether they might overthink it. And as you said, the fullback positions are going to be dangerous for them. So I'm going to go for, it's going to be very, very tight. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Madrid in the 90 minutes.
Nice one. Right, lads, we'll move on to the next one.
What about you?
I think that Real Madrid are going to win up penalties. That's what I'm going with. Right, lads, we'll quickly fly through this. City and Villa. Paddy, coming to you first. Obviously, City need the win. Villa, Gerrard might want to do a little bit of a favour for Liverpool, but do you see this being an issue for City?
I think they'll be nervy at the start. I think it'll be 3-1 to City, but they'll either go behind or else they'll be 2-1 up in Villa. I think Villa will get a goal because of the nerves of City, but they will win comfortable enough. So I think 3-1 for City and De Bruyne, because he's a legend.
He's a hero. Conor, what do you think?
Yeah, I was going to be saying to Paddy before we came on, I think Villa will give them a nervy 65 minutes where it will be bum clenching. Liverpool will go ahead. City know they'll have to do something, and then once one goal goes in, I can just see that tension disappearing from them. I'm going to say 3-0 City, and I'm going to say Phil Foden.
Okay. I think City should win it. I think it'll be tight enough though. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win. What would it like? I'd love to have a whole fucking another moment like that where they're losing or something, and then something happens, but I don't think it's going to happen. I do think City are going to win 2-1.
We're coming back to play. Did you see the state of that statue?
Oh my God,
isn't it?
It's shambolic. Absolutely shambolic. Obviously, a man that done the Ronaldo statue done that one as well.
Yeah. That's the blind bloke, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like him. Right, lads, we're going to move on to the last game. We're going to look at Spurs and Norwich. Quick score prediction on this one. I'm going to go with a 3-0 win for Spurs, and I think Kane's going to score. Paddy?
I think Son, because Son is going for the top scorer. So I think Son will score 2 and it'll be 2-0 to Spurs.
Conor?
2-1 Spurs, Kulusevski.
Okay, nice one. Right, lads, that is the end of the score predictions for the weekend. I just want to do one more thing, just because it is the last kind of normal podcast of the season. There's one thing that I think we need to have a quick look at, and it is it's back.
If you wanted to get rid of me, you should have just sacked me.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not leaving. You're gonna have to pay me off. I'm not leaving. I don't care.
I was laughing thinking they were going to bring up Connor's crypto corner because the arse is falling out of everything.
It's funny you say that, because I do have that lined up next as well. There's the graphic for it. So, lads, I think just as a little send off for the season's podcast, I think we'll have a look. Now, Paddy, I've gone easy on you because it could have been any jersey, but I think this is going to be a little bit more relatable to you. So we're gonna have a look at the Shamrock Rovers jersey, the home and away one. So I mean, I've tried to please you, Paddy. I've tried to keep you somewhat happy.
You see where I went like for the United jersey? I was like a bleeding fashionista. I was. I can't even remember my glasses and all. It was beautiful.
So
if I had known this was coming up, I would have prepared.
Got his Gakko on outfit.
I think it's beautiful. Absolutely fabulous.
Really Paddy, what do you think of this beautiful Shamrock Rovers home kit this season? Give me your thoughts.
I love the gold embroidered on the edges, so beautiful, and the orange there at the background to bring in the green, white, and orange for Ireland. I love it. The orange and the sponsor was really good. Nicely fitted as well. I'm sure the players look dead sexy in that now all this season. So yeah, I think all in all, I think I give United 10 out of 10. So I'll give this one 9.8 out of 10.
Oh, okay. Conor, what you think? What's your thoughts on this one?
Not a fan.
Coming from the Bowls fan.
I actually there's two things I don't like about it. But other than that, it actually is a nice jersey. I love the gold trim, as Paddy mentioned.
Yeah,
the gold around and the badge. I don't like the tartan black diamond design through the green, and I don't like this. I don't like the sponsor. The orange is stupid.
Yeah, a bit big.
We don't condone gambling on this podcast. Never have, never will.
Not more.
Yeah. So I just think I'm a big fan of the tartan, if that's what you're going to call it. I'm a big fan of that. I think that looks delicious. I'm a big fan of that. I think that the 888 sponsor is too big, to be honest with you. I think it could be half the size and be just as effective.
And I do love a sponsor who tries. We talked about with the United jersey, a sponsor who tries to fit in with the jersey as opposed to just lapping a sponsor on. Yeah. They didn't put it in because of the green, white, and orange. Their orange's logo. They just went, yeah, fuck, we'll just slap it on the chest.
Yeah. So what score are you going to give this one, Conor?
It isn't a bad jersey. I won't lie. I'm going to go with a 7-8. 7-9. 7-9.
Liverpool against the walls here in the last few minutes of injury time.
Good. Hope they fucking die. Yeah. Okay. I do think that this is a nice jersey as well, Conor. I don't think you're miles off with your score prediction on this one. I'm going to go with a 7.8 on this one. Big fan of the little gold trim. I do like the way it is an orange logo to finish off the green, white, and orange. I'm a big fan of the black kind of diamonds going through the green part of it. And yeah, a nice jersey. So
made of recycled fabric apparently as well. Down the bottom right corner.
Interesting, very nice. Lads, on to the away jersey. Very similar to the home one. I don't know how to get away with it because it's the exact same colours. But Conor, what do you think of this one?
Prefer it because AAA have put effort in and they've changed their logo to suit it in. Yeah. I like the Umbro sleeves on it.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about it is I'm not a fan of the collar whatsoever.
Oh, I like the collar.
No,
together as one. I don't like that bit.
No, the together as one I don't mind, but I just don't like it's like flared like a shirt almost, and then it's a fake V.
It's hard to know. Is that on the back? That little, or is that the front of the collar?
No, that's the back.
And this, am I right with this line here that comes down here and then turns into like a little bit of a V?
No, well, yeah, but it doesn't look. It's just the green fabric. It comes straight across.
Oh, okay. So the green fabric is on the front of it. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, right. I don't mind that then. I wouldn't have.
I don't like the shape. I don't like the shape of it. I do prefer a round neck for a jersey.
Fair enough. What are you thinking on the double line here? One thicker than the other as well.
No, I like that. I like that. It fits in. I'm gonna go higher with this in the home jersey.
Oh,
I'm gonna go 8.2 on this.
I'm gonna go.
I don't like the collar, but I like the rest of it.
I'm gonna go 8.88. Paddy, what do you think of this one?
I actually prefer it. I think it's really nice. I think this is one now I'd like to wear it maybe to the pub for a few points, in the football day. I think it's very
and then start a fight by 6 o'clock.
So yeah, I'm gonna give the last one 9.8, so I can't really go much for it. So 9.9, I'm gonna go with this one. But yeah, really, really nice, I'd say.
Didn't leave yourself much wiggle room there, did you? Yeah, I like it, lads. I'm a fan of this one as well. I need to see the other one again. do you know what? I prefer it. I think the sponsor sits in a little bit better. I'm gonna go with an 8.1 on this one. I do think that is a nice little jersey. Right, that's it, lads. That was short and sweet. Just to bring it back and reel in the old times of the fashion
Under an
show.
hour.
Just for Paddy's love of it.
Thanks.
No problem. Conor, I'm gonna just jump onto it really quickly because I want to know how badly you're doing. So I'm gonna jump on to one thing we haven't done in ages, which is Conor's.
He's after doing so bad he can't even afford a poster for the wall.
I brought up my walls earlier.
You had to sell the walls. He's in a new gaff because maybe he actually done so well and bought a new gaff out of it.
Maybe.
Well,
Conor, how are you doing?
I'm not too bad because, as you mentioned, when I got the house, I cashed a hell of a lot of Bitcoin out to buy bits around the house. So the bit I have left, the arse is still falling out of it, obviously. But I'm down to my initial investment now, so it has just worked as like a savings account for me. But everything else on top of that, I have taken out, and I've bought I got a new phone last year, a holiday,
Nice.
bits of furniture around the house. So now I'm back to like my initial investment. Which it wasn't bad, but like don't buy it anymore. Just don't. Just leave it alone. It's
over.
Yeah,
right.
The arse is
all of crypto.
Oh, it's all gone to the fucking wall.
That's
Is
just
that because of
COVID?
COVID?
The Rush shit and all going on now, but it'll start picking back up.
No. Apparently, and I have this segment, right? But there's a fella I used to work with who was like deep into this rabbit hole, basically.
Where are we getting him in?
I don't know.
Call him up there.
There's one person who owns like 54% of the Bitcoin in the world. Jeez. So if he starts selling, the market falls. And apparently he started selling. And Bitcoin is used as the marker for all the other cryptos. So once the arse fell out of that, everyone started selling everything else. Yeah. So that's why the arse fell out of everything. Once Bitcoin goes, the rest of it is fucked.
Great, yeah. Comment in there from Rob. Thanks, lads. Can't wait for next season, Cody. Yeah, no worries. We will be back stronger.
Rob, we won't put the podcast on Thursdays next year because you'll be busy.
Right, Conor. So your advice for Conor's Crypto Corner for one last time this season is don't buy anything and just stay away.
Get out of the corner.
All right, there you have it. Right, lads, that is pretty much all we have time for this week. Close enough to an hour, I suppose. We've done well. Lads, I don't know. Next week we might come back. I know, Conor, I don't think you're going to be here, but we might come back with a little kind of half an hour show, maybe, myself and yourself, Paddy. Have a little bit of a look back on our guests that have been on and have a little bit of a chat about it. Hopefully we can have a discussion in the meantime with ourselves and all the other lads, I suppose, who are still they're involved, but they're not involved, and see what the plan is for next season. Because
they do all the background work.
yeah, they do everything in the background. All this stuff you see behind us, it's all them. They run
the Instagram. Melon runs the Instagram.
Everyone actually looks after it now, and you can see why Conor's room is like that, because all the lads look after the background, and they've taken over since Conor got a new gaff. So as you can see, they're lovely work there. Conor has nothing behind them. So the lads are doing
fuck's sake, Melon, will you get the finger
out? Right, lads. So look, we will be back probably the next time or next week, the same time. I'll put it out on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you are following us. Make sure you do follow us. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe and share and like and all that good stuff. Get us on TikTok as well, because I'm going to be putting out a few more controversial stuff. I had a little bit of a dig at United fans and stuff like that during the week, which I thought was pretty funny. And I kind of got
Paddy Murphy last week.
Yeah, and Paddy Murphy last week, which got like 12,000 views. So yeah, he was selling gambling, fucking fake gambling stuff to kids. So
and only we do that.
And only we're allowed to do that, but we don't charge people. At least we do that for free. Right, lads, we're gonna end it there. Paddy, thanks for coming on this week.
Cheers, Collie.
And Conor, we will probably talk to you next season.
Talk to you later, lads. Well, no, I'll see you after this. Yeah, as soon as you end the stream, I'll still be here. But
yeah, like we're still gonna talk for the next kind of 5 minutes.
I'm playing golf for you guys, yeah.
Oh yeah, we're gonna play golf on Sunday.
I'll 5-a-side tomorrow. Yeah.
And 5-a-side tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well.
Okay.
Sorry.
Fair.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So I'll see you next season, Connor. All right. Right. Thanks everyone for watching, and we will see you again next week.